Hey everyone, Mario again, coming at you with another video. Been a while since I've done a vlog. Anyway, a few bits of news I'm going to address in this. First, as you can tell from up there, I have changed the title of my channel. It is no longer Mario Radium 2. It is now Mar Talks. I felt it was time to rebrand the channel, even though Mario Radium has served me well. I felt, in the words of Owen Hart, enough is enough. It is time for a change. I'm still going to be doing reviews, as you can tell by looking at my playlist. I'm still doing normal reviews. I'm going to be doing written out reviews where I write down what I'm going to say, then record it later and edit it with photos. And occasional footage, but I'll probably just stick to photos, especially for Disney films. Monster Fest is still going to be done. It's going to be done in this style. I'm going to do at least 3 to 4 films. I already have the review for one of them written out. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it is a film I have reviewed before. I don't think I have a review up. I decided to go a little bit more in depth with it in this review, and I think it's going to be a good one. I also have one other Mar Talks review already written. I wrote it about say 9 months ago, mainly as an exercise in my writing skills, and also I was bored a day I was sick and couldn't go to work, so I was like, oh, alright, it's a movie I just revisited. Probably when I am in between reviews and need something to do, I'll probably do the audio and then edit it together, because there's one part I still have to do in order to mention my thoughts on one particular subject. I'm not going to spoil what it is. All I'm going to say is, how did you learn our language? I listened. If you know the film, you should know what film it is just from that. Other stuff, I finally have my C driver's license. Went to the DMV on Friday, had to take off work, and I passed. I got some marks down, but here it's you're allowed 15 mistakes. I got 13, mostly for speed stuff. Slower, not faster. I didn't get anything wrong on the backing up. I did not miss any on the pre-checklist, and obviously I didn't miss any of the other important stuff, so those are the auto-fail stuff, and I'm happy now. I can drive to work, drive to the gym, do movie stuff, which I do plan on seeing a lot more movies in the theater now that I can drive. Sad thing is, there's only a handful of movies in the next couple months I'm looking forward to seeing, and the sad thing is, a lot of them are re-releases. I'm probably not going to do reviews of some of them, because some of them I've reviewed. A couple of them I might do reviews for. Like one of the theaters is showing the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre back on the big screen. I'm definitely going to go to that. I mean, I have to wait I have to wait about 5 hours after work, but I can come home, change out my uniform, get better clothes on, go to the gym, hang out at the mall for a while, then go to it. I mean, how often do you get to see that film on the big screen? Another theater is showing a bunch of Hitchcock films. There's only a couple I really am interested in seeing in the theater, like Dial M for Murder. They're actually showing it in 3D like it was originally released, so I'm not really much for seeing films in 3D in the theater, but that one I definitely have to go see. Another one they're showing is Psycho at the end of October. I definitely want to go see that one. I love the film and I know it's effective. I just want to see how it is watching that on the big screen. Like try to get an idea of how sitting in a theater that shower scene played in the 60s. And then in December, that theater is also going to be showing A Christmas Story, so I might see that one. Then of course there's a handful of other films I'm interested in seeing, like Doctor Strange, and that's all I can remember off the top of my head. Anyway, now time for the main event of this vlog. It is a DVD Blu-ray update. This is the whole kit and caboodle right there. This is from 4 separate trips. I'm going to separate them right now by the trip. These are from going to the stores and shopping online. I'll start with the online shopping ones and then let you know the rest of these are in person. These are some Blu-rays. I got this one mainly because I wanted to get a better copy of this film, and it does have a couple features. It has a commentary by the director and the cinematographer and a historian, and I think that's about it. I'll probably watch the film once and then watch it again with the commentary. It, of course, is the director's cut of Gettysburg. You know, I'm a history buff, so that should be an interesting one to watch. Another one is a film I reviewed a few years ago for Oscar reviews. Probably got to change the name of that to Oscar-thon, by the way, because I think that rolls off the tongue a bit better. It, of course, is The Fugitive. It wasn't me, it was the one-armed man. Its features is take you inside the manhunt, The Fugitive: Thrill of the Chase, a pilot episode of the 2000s TV series, introduction by Andrew Davis and Harrison Ford, a commentary by Andrew Davis and Tommy Lee Jones, two exciting documentaries, Derailed, Anatomy of a Train Wreck, and On the Run with the Fugitive, and the trailer. And then, of course, this is a film I just reviewed. I haven't watched it since I got it again, which I think I probably should have before I did the review in audio format, just in case there was any other thing I had to add. But it's definitely a film I enjoy from the 70s. I don't know if I put it on my top 10 films of the decade, but it'd be in the running probably. It, of course, is the Don Siegel directed, Clint Eastwood starring film, Escape from Alcatraz. Sadly, there is no special features on this Blu-ray. It's just the movie. Sad. You would think there would at least be a documentary about the prisoner escapes and maybe not some behind-the-scenes footage, maybe some interesting clips or some outtakes, but alas, none. Not even any deleted scenes, sadly. Now next, these are some Blu-ray finds from a trip to Big Lots with my buddies. It was an impromptu one, the day before I went and got my license. I'm going to start with the heavyweight of this. I have not seen this film yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about this film, and since I definitely love some of the actors in it, Christopher Lloyd, Jeff Goldblum, Peter Weller, John Lithgow, how can I resist getting it? Especially since, like I said, I've heard a lot of good things, and this is a special edition Blu-ray of it. This is definitely fodder for an episode of I Love the 80s. The movie I'm, of course, talking about is The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. And yes, I did flip the poster inside. This is one of the instances with Shout Factory where I actually prefer the older poster to the newer one. The newer one's cool, it's just, I like the vibe of that poster a bit more. It's like, if I enjoy this film, I'll probably end up getting that as a poster someday. Don't know if I'll have the room in here unless I start putting posters on the ceiling. That'd be look a little bit weird, though. And of course, next is a film I have reviewed once already, but I might do a more in-depth review. Definitely writing style one once I give it a watch. Not sure when. Maybe I'll save it for around the birthday of this gentleman. It, of course, is Hitchcock. Hitch, dear, hold the cock. Its special features is some deleted scenes, which should be interesting to watch, and most of them I'll probably understand why they were deleted. Obsessed with Hitchcock, Becoming the Master, From Hopkins to Hitchcock, Hitchcock's cell phone PSA, a behind-the-scenes cell phone footage, the story, the cast, Danielle Maestro, Hitch and Alma, Remembering Hitchcock, which those last two ones should be interesting documentaries, and an audio commentary with the director and author Stephen Rebello. Which I'm not saying they're the same person, I'm just saying the director and the screenwriter. And next is a film I got out of the cheap bin. I don't have it in my collection. I've only watched it once, and it was last year in Florida. I enjoyed it. Probably one I'll definitely, when I give it another watch, will be for a classic cinema one. It, of course, is the Steve McQueen vehicle, The Great Escape. It has an audio commentary by the director, has 8 featurettes including The Untold Story, The Real Virgil Hilts, and more. Could be an interesting watch. Now on to the DVDs. I'm going to start with the DVDs I got at Goodwill the other day. Most of these were $3 and under. Actually, all of them were. First one is one I was a little surprised to see in there, but given my love of musicals, I could not resist this one. Especially since I've been meaning to actually watch the full-on musical version of this story. Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. His skin was pale and his eyes were odd. He shaved the faces of gentlemen who never thereafter were heard from again. He'd draw the path the few have trod, did Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Yep, it is the filmed version of Sweeney Todd, starring Angela Lansbury and George, I'm going to probably butcher this last name, Hearn, I believe? doesn't really have any special features other than, you know, a new transfer and the soundtrack remastered from its original 1982 release, but it should be an interesting watch. I've seen bits and pieces of that, but never the full one. Now this one is one that I do have on VHS already, but when I saw the DVD and saw the features, I couldn't resist getting this one. And it's in the original DVD release too. It is, of course, The Matrix. Disc's still in good condition, and these features should be interesting to watch. A behind-the-scenes documentary, cast and crew commentary, music-only audio track, Follow the White Rabbit and Take the Red Pills, and scene access and other stuff. And believe it or not, I have not watched The Matrix in its entirety. When it was first came out, I tried getting into it, but I guess it's one of those ones as a kid I just couldn't get into. And I stopped watching it right when Neo took the pill and went into the true world, I guess. Next is a film I've reviewed on here already. I loved it. I have it on VHS up there, but seeing this DVD in there, I couldn't resist. Especially since it's probably a bit more on Amazon Plus shipping and handling. It, of course, is the film that Robin Williams finally won an acting Oscar for. Good Will Hunting. Has an audio commentary by director Gus Van Sant. In the Oscar winners for Best Screenplay, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. 11 deleted scenes with commentary, production featurette, some trailers, an Academy Award Best Picture montage, the Miss Misery music video, and behind-the-scenes footage. Should be an interesting watch when I revisit it. Now, this is a movie I've only seen once, and I don't remember liking it as a whole as much as the original film version of this story. But seeing it there, I couldn't help but get it because of its price and also a chance to revisit it. And I'll probably watch it back to back with the other one because I do have it up there on Blu-ray now. It'd be interesting to watch them back to back, and I've read the book a couple times, so I know the majority of it, so be interesting. It, of course, is Red Dragon. I remember the only part of it I really didn't think they needed was the added-on opening thing, which I'll explain that when I get to the review. Now, next is a film by Tim Burton that I really do enjoy, and as of right now, of all the other ones he's directed, this is probably his last, of the ones I've seen at least, his last masterpiece level film. I mean, I like the other films he's done since then, but it's probably his last masterpiece, at least what I would consider a masterpiece from him. Definitely has all the flourishes of his style, and the story definitely fits his style. It, of course, is Big Fish. Been a couple years since I've seen it, so let's see how my adult mind likes it. Now, these are from today, A Trip to Big Lots. First, the film I have never watched in its entirety. By the way, each of these are $5. Brand new. But definitely going to be Oscar-thon fodder. It, of course, is Training Day. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the features of Big Fish. Audio commentary, some featurettes about characters, filmmaker's path, fairy tale world, which is about the importance of fairy tales and myths and how these elements are incorporated into Big Fish. Then something with Stan Winston's studio, and a thing about bringing the screenplay to life. Now back to Training Day. It has a commentary by the director Antoine Fuqua, additional scenes and alternate ending, which should be interesting. HBO First Look, the making of Training Day. I wish they still put those on DVDs and Blu-rays. 2 music videos and some trailers and cast film highlights. Now next, these 2 films I mainly got because they're both films. Oh, excuse me, one of these isn't. One of them is directed by Christopher Nolan, and the other one is a film starring an actor who went on to work with Nolan. I'll probably give them away. First one is a film I will probably get around to reviewing sometime within the next year, hopefully. It, of course, is a film I've actually been meaning to watch. I've been meaning to watch it before Robin Williams passed away, but ever since, it's one of the ones I've been meaning to watch, mainly because of how good I hear his performance in it is. It, of course, is Insomnia. It has a director's commentary, and the commentary apparently is in order of shoot and sequence, which should be interesting. Has a commentary with Hilary Swank and some of the other people, including the cinematographer and screenwriter. Featurettes include Day for Night, Making of, 180 Degrees, a conversation with Nolan and Pacino, In the Fog, cinematography and production design, Eyes Wide Open, The Insomniac's World, and a theatrical trailer. It should be very interesting to watch. Now, of course, the other film is the film where Christian Bale lost all that weight. It, of course, is The Machinist. Never seen this film. I'd never even heard of this film until I was reading a People magazine around the time Batman Begins was coming out, and I saw photos for it, and I'm like, what? And then I heard more about it, and I'm like, mainly curious for seeing how he looks in this, and the premise is interesting. He hasn't slept in a year. How can you survive that? Anyway, it includes a commentary by director Brad Anderson. The Machinist breaking the rules, 8 deleted scenes in the theatrical trailer. Should be a very interesting watch. Anyway, that's about it. That's the DVD update. Only other things to say, like I said, Monster Fest still on. I do have a few things planned for November and December. November, I only know one review I have planned. Hopefully I'll be able to get around to it. It's going to be a first viewing if I can manage it. December, I'm going to try to do at least 2 Christmas-themed reviews. Obviously, one of them is going to be A Christmas Story if I get around to watching it. If I see it in the theater, that's a bonus. If not, I'll still try to get around to watching it. And another one is technically a childhood favorites thing, but unofficially. Something I've actually had planned since last December when I was thinking about going this way up the channel, but I hadn't fully committed. And let's just say I have a feeling some of you viewers will enjoy it.